The question is about who am I, if you didn't hear that. And for those of you who want to take the time to visit my website, they have a really nice bio, and some say too long of a bio on my website to describe to you my life and the experiences I've had. I don't know the answer to your question, quite honestly, how I became the conservative, love America type of person that I became. I can point at some things that seem to suggest why it happened. I lived with a very patriotic parents, even though they were Democrats. Very patriotic. I don't blame them for that, of course. They raised us in a way that suggested we had to live within our means, that you had to delay gratification, that you had individual responsibility, that you couldn't always get what you wanted unless you worked hard for it. We were told no because my father was an educator. He had 7 children and a wife. I think when he died, he was making $32,000 a year, supporting all of us in a home. And the answer to most things was, can I have this? The answer was no. And it was done in a very calm and deliberate way, and we came to understand that you have to live within your means. My father died when I was young. I had to take on responsibility for the family in a way that, many do, but not most Americans have to do at a young age. I learned how important it was I learned what happened to my mother when she was a homemaker all her life, and she was confronted with the challenge of raising her children and having to provide for them when her husband and love of life just, left her suddenly. It came when my mother then got cancer just a few years later, and I had to deal with that and watch her pass away and understand the importance of what the challenges of life present. I learned from making my own mistakes, falling down on my face, getting back up, falling down, getting back up, repeatedly learning that the right way is always the hard way, the wrong way is the easy way. It's an amazing nation. For those of us lucky enough to have been born within these borders, under this amazing document called the U.S. Constitution. And we're all very blessed human beings, for we could have been born anywhere else on the planet, but we were born here, given an opportunity like few in the world have to prosper and live based on our own choices, right? Suffering through our own mistakes. And what the Constitution makes for us, the free enterprise system, capitalism, personal responsibility, delayed gratification, a hard day's work for a hard day's pay, the importance of a good education. And it's not just going to a good school, it's actually executing, having the parents tell you need to study, and studying hard. And I learned that through the process. It was only when in graduate school that I got that 4.0 GPA. And I had to learn that by understanding that when you don't study hard, you don't become as successful as you might otherwise be. And it comes from, just having to make choices on my own without someone to guide me, and realizing that the correct way is always the conservative way. And those traditional American values of living within your means, a good education for your family, safety, security, home, food, shelter, clothing. I mean, these are the basics of life that we forget about, the thin veneer of civilization that's overcome us these days. So I think it's just the life I led, the challenges that were presented to me, and how I overcame them by learning, by making mistakes, and getting up and keep moving forward. From the capital city area is a place I live in. I went to live in Raleigh, and I got priced out of Raleigh. Then I went to live in Cary, and I got priced out of Cary. And so I came to the beautiful town of Apex, where I could find the home that I wanted for the price I wanted and the lot I wanted. And having lived in 600 square feet in Manhattan for 15 years, I was convinced I needed the big house with the big yard. And I got that, and it's a wonderful achievement for myself. I'm Rhode Island by birth, but I'm Southern by choice. I'm sorry I came here so late, but we are Americans. That is what binds us. We are a federalist republic that allows us. It's not the 1800s anymore. The carpetbagger philosophy has got to be tossed aside. The Federalist Republic, created by the U.S. Constitution, allows us to go anywhere we want in this great country and be accepted as our fellow Americans.